It's my pleasure to welcome you again to the Playhouse. My name is Anthony Quinn. I play the role of Clay Walden, a manhunter, a member of that fabulous body of fearless men, the Texas Rangers. The story opens in 1861 in the new state of Oregon. It was Clay Walden's reputation that whenever he went after a man, he brought him back.
Well, we're getting old, partner. I wouldn't admit it to another living soul. And if you was to tell on me, I'd call you a liar.
Good afternoon.
Howdy. Now, you're a stranger in these parts.
Yeah, sure am.
Name's Callison, Jay Callison.
Pleased to know you, Mr. Calliston. Clay Walden.
Horse kind of tuckered out looking.
Yeah, we've been on short rations quite a spell. Say, ain't there no grass here in Oregon, just pine needles?
From a goodly way, appears like.
Well, some folks would call it a far piece.
Can't remember I ever seen a Mexican rigged saddle here in Oregon.
Oh, is that so?
Could be you're from Texas.
Yeah, it could be.
Might it be that you're a man of the law?
Say, I didn't think it showed that much.
No offense. Not much call for the law hereabouts. Mostly peaceful country.
Yeah, it looks mighty peaceful. Mighty pretty, too.
Reckon you're on your way to Portland. Not more than 30 miles, straight down the river.
Nope, I figured to stop around here a short spell.
Well, why don't you come on in? Oh, stranger, I'm sorry.
This here's Mr. Clay Walden. He's from Texas.
Well, don't let that scare you, ma'am. We Texans ain't as bad as we're made out to be.
A lawman.
Your wife, Mr. Calliston?
My daughter.
Oh, no. I hope you won't take it amiss. I like to say she's a credit to you. Mighty pretty. Like everything else I've seen here in Oregon.
I declare, Mr. Walden won't think us Oregon folks are very hospitable. You haven't even invited him in to light and rest. Dinner's on the table. Of course, we weren't expecting a visitor.
Well, that's right, neighborly, you, Miss Calliston. I don't know if I'll remember how to behave proper. I ain't sat down at a table in 6 months.
Plenty of fodder for your horse yonder in the corral.
Hey, you hear that? You remember your manners. Don't go making a glutton of yourself. This is going to be a mighty big treat for the two of us, ma'am. All right.
Another piece of apple pie, Mr. Walden?
Don't tempt me, Miss Calliston. I got no place left to put it.
Just had another look at your horse. Sure made quick work of that grain.
Can't say I blame him. Just made a glutton of myself. You know, it don't hardly seem manly to talk business after such pleasure, but I'm kind of pressed for time. It's a long trail back to Texas, and with winter breathing down the back of my neck, I gotta get moving and fast. If we're to get to the mountain passes before the snow blocks them.
We?
Me and my prisoner, the fellow I'm taking back with me.
Oh.
Who might the law be in these parts? Sheriff or marshal, whoever's in authority?
I am, duly elected sheriff of the county.
Was that so? You didn't tell me.
You didn't ask me.
You, don't wear a badge, huh?
No call to. Folks hereabouts know me.
Did you ever hear of a party named Gates?
Common enough name, Gates.
Sam Gates.
Might have heard it, sometime or other.
Well, seems like you would. Sam Gates is homesteading a section right here in your township. That's how Texas got track of him, when he filed his claim at the government land office. I reckon you're the man I've got to show these papers to.
Texas Ranger.
That's right. You'll find him in order. Warrant signed by our governor. Extradition papers signed by the governor of Oregon.
They're in order. Suspected murder.
Well, that's what the warrant charges.
Seems like a lot of trouble for the state of Texas to go to. Sending a ranger 6 months across the country and 6 months back just to bring in a man only suspected.
The law ain't worth much if it isn't mixed with a little common sense. You must want him awful bad if there's even a question of him not being guilty.
Oh, it ain't me that wants him, Miss Constance. It's the state of Texas.
But only suspected.
Well, that's for the jury to decide. And if it was twice as far and twice as long, I'd still have to bring him back. Them's my orders.
Sam Gates has lived in this township for 3 years now. You're right about him filing on a section of land. He's building himself a home.
You seem to know him right well.
I do. And I like him even better.
Too bad I have to ask your cooperation in taking him back. Do you understand? You're an officer of the law.
Yes, I'm an officer of the law. And I'll do my duty as I see it to do. But I'd rather cut off my arm.
Hey, old fella. Well, look.
Usually he's shy with strangers. Here, I'll take him.
Now, don't you come between two old friends like us, ma'am, huh? No, I can't remember ever holding a youngster before. My gosh, they're awfully kind of soft and squeezy, ain't they? Is this your child, ma'am?
Yes, mine.
Well, then I made a mistake calling you Miss Calliston.
Yes.
Well, now, a person would have to be blind not to see the resemblance. Why, he's a living picture.
Oh, he's like his father, too.
Well, his father's a mighty lucky man having a girl like you and a son like him. Whole of Oregon to grow up in.
Weren't you ever married, Mr. Walden?
Hey, no, ma'am. Not unless a fellow could be married to a horse.
Weren't you ever in love?
Well, now, it takes a face like yours to call it to mind, ma'am. Way back in Kansas it was. I reckon I loved her better than anything on earth.
She love you?
Well, she said she did. She wasn't one to lie about anything.
Something happened.
Oh, what happened was my fault, I guess. I was young and had my pride. The Wide West was calling. I rode off to make a name for myself and a fortune. I never saw her again. I rode back 5 years later without my fortune. Folks that remembered her said she waited around 4 years. They married up with a dang mule skinner who was busy piling up his fortune being wagon boss for the settlers moving out west out of Fort Dodge. I guess I never really forgot her. Somehow nobody could ever take her place.
I'm sorry, Mr. Walden.
I don't know why I mentioned it. I guess I got carried away, having a youngster on my knee in your kindness, ma'am. 6 long months on the trail and stepping into a home, a real home. I'd like to meet your husband. I'd like to shake the hand of a man who has about everything in life that counts for anything. He's a mighty lucky man. Oh, I didn't know you had visitors.
Neighbors, homesteaders like myself. Oh, this here's Leif Brady, Frank Jones, Luke Hawkins.
Hi.
Glad to meet you, gents.
Hello, Amy. Young is looking just fine.
Thank you. How's Mrs. Jones?
Tolerably well, thank you.
Word gets around fast when a stranger passes through. The boys get mighty hungry for news of other parts of the country.
Yeah, the only real news we ever get is when a wagon train rolls in from Independence or someplace. Then it's always 4 or 5 months late.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I reckon you fellas are more up-to-date than me. I haven't run across nobody to talk to between here and Texas.
Well, last we heard, the South was getting a little skittish. Lots of wild talk about going it alone.
Yeah, so I heard.
Well, I'm from Kentucky. But Abe Lincoln carried this state, and Oregon's going to back him up to the hilt.
You're from Texas, ain't you?
Yep.
Callison says you're one of them Texas Rangers.
Yeah, he told you right.
And you're here to take Sam Gates back with you. For something or other.
Well, I aim to.
You know Sam Gates?
Kinda.
Maybe not like we know him. He's lived among us 3 years. He's a good, steady lad.
Could be. Wasn't always so steady.
This frontier's full of young fellas that maybe was a little wild back where they came from. But mostly they've settled down. Made good men.
Mighty glad to hear it.
Whatever Sam might have done back in Texas, he's proved himself here.
We folks put a lot of store in Sam Gates, Mr. Ranger.
And none of us looks kindly on you or the state of Texas, taking him anywhere he don't want to go.
The extradition paper signed by the governor of Oregon calls on every law-abiding citizen to aid in the performance of my duty.
He's got the law on his side.
Sam Gates has got us on his side.
Mighty sorry it has to be this way, gents. I had kind of counted on your cooperation. Friendly like.
Ain't none of us going to cooperate in the taking of Sam Gates.
Well, then I reckon I'll have to do it on my own.
Well, like I said, he's got the law on his side.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, Clay.
Good to see you again, son.
I'd like to say the same.
Sounds as if you might be expecting me.
Like I warned you was here. And what for?
You could have lit out.
I done my last running when I left Texas.
Now, you and me ain't gonna have trouble, are we, Sam? Two old friends like us.
You're a long way from home, Clay.
We're both a long way from home, Sam.
Not me. This here's my home now.
Could be you think you're through with Texas. But seems like Texas ain't through with you. You get away your guns?
Don't need guns in this country. Folks here are peaceable. And even if I was packing them, I wouldn't be fool enough to draw against you.
You didn't worry none the night you threw down a Webb McGivney and put 3 slugs in his belly. Webb fancied himself quite slick on the draw, too.
He had plenty of practice. Gunning down folks that stood up to him and his gang. 20, 30 men in the Pecos saloon that night must have seen Webb drawing me first.
You never heard nobody say different.
It wasn't because I was afeard of the law that I hightailed it out of Texas. Sooner or later, I would have had to have it out with the rest of Webb's pistoleros. They'd have bushwhacked me if they couldn't have got me no other way.
You should have come to me, Sam.
Well, what could we have done, Clay? There and 3 folks. Webb McGivney, he was the law.
That was before the Texas Rangers came in.
I never thought a ranger would be taken out after me for McGivney. Unless was to give me a medal. But you just said yourself it was self-defense.
It ain't the killing of McGivney I come after you for, son. There's a cowpoke standing at the bar when you and Webb locked horns. Said cowpoke stopped a .44 slug, plumb in the middle of his chest. He died right after you rode away.
I didn't know nothing about nobody else getting hurt. I didn't know much of anything except there was half a dozen of McGivney's gunslingers in that place with him.
Some claimed it was a slug of yours, said cowpoke.
Were none of mine. I fired 3 times and I hit 3 times, plumb center.
Well, some allowed was the one shot Webb got off. Be that as it may, I got a warrant for you. An extradition papers take you back, all legal.
Even if I'd done it and I didn't, it was only accidental like.
The state of Texas says you got to stand trial, accidental or no. If they can't prove it on you, you'll go free.
When do you figure to take me, Clay?
Well, the sooner the better, son.
I ain't aiming to go.
You know me better than that. You're going.
It ain't 'cause I'm scared. Well, like I told you, Clay, I'm building myself a home, and I got it to finish. I got more to think about than just myself. I ain't got time to go traipsing 6 months to Texas and 6 months back. I ain't got the right to let you take a year, maybe more, out of my life for nothing.
Sorry you feel that way. I think it'd be pleasant having company on the trail. But pleasant to know I'm taking you back with me.
You'll never get me back there, Clay.
I reckon so.
Well, on a trail, it'll be man to man. I'm younger than you are.
I'd be a fool to deny that.
You'd have to rope me to a horse every day and tie me up solid every night when we made camp.
You're dealing your own hand, son.
You can't keep a man hog-tied for 6 months every minute, cross-country. Sooner or later, I'd bust loose and I'd be long gone.
I reckon I'd know where to find you.
Like I told you, Clay, I ain't aiming to go.
It ain't an invite no more, son. It's an order. Saddle up.
You gonna draw on me, Clay?
No, he ain't. We figured you might be needing a little help, Sam.
I'm thankful to you, but I can't let you get messed up in my troubles.
Makes sense, son.
Trouble for one is trouble for all of us.
Leastwise, that's the way it's always been.
Don't reckon it's gonna change any now.
Especially when the trouble ain't no more than suspicion.
That's for the jury to decide.
A jury that's going to sit 1,000 miles away?
You ain't got him in front of no jury. Yet.
I'm a peace officer. Acting in the line of my duty according to law. You boys aiming to interfere?
Don't call his hand. He's lightning.
You told him you didn't aim to go back with him, Sam. Did you mean it?
Yeah, but on my own. I don't want no bloodshed over me.
There ain't gonna be no bloodshed. I told you he had the law on his side, and I gotta uphold it. That's why he elected me.
We didn't elect you to uphold no law that wants to snatch a man away from his wife and kid. Just when he's needed most. And on no more than suspicion.
Is that right, son? You got a wife?
And child, Mr. Walden. Remember? You wanted to meet the father. Just to shake the hand of a mighty lucky man.
I don't reckon I ever felt a bigger fool in my life, man.
Maybe he isn't good enough for the state of Texas, but I thought him good enough for my son-in-law.
Even after he told us about that trouble he'd had back in Three Forks.
You knew about that?
You think I'd hid it from her?
That explains some things about you and your pa I didn't understand rightly at first.
I didn't need the law or jury to decide about Sam Gates. I took him for the man I knew him to be. For better, for worse.
That's why I can't go traipsing back to Texas and lose a year out of my life. It wouldn't just be my life. It'd be hers and the boys'. This here's our home I'm building.
I know it seems awfully mean, awful cruel considering.
You mean you're gonna take him anyhow?
Sheriff, I've got to take him.
No, I know you mean well, but you'd only make more trouble, and the best trouble is to face up to it, and we want this trouble behind us. Sam's gone, Mr. Walden. And Sam Jr. and I are going with him.
Amy.
Oh, wait a minute, Mrs. Gates. You don't know what you're saying.
I said Sam Jr. and I are going with Sam.
I couldn't allow nothing like that.
I don't see how you can stop me. It's a free country. I can go anywhere I have a mind to go. And even the law says a wife's place is with her husband.
But it just ain't possible, ma'am. A woman and a child, 6 months on the trail, winter, mountains, Indians, desert.
Now, don't you worry about Sam Jr. and me. We'll take care of ourselves. You just worry about Sam.
Here, Pa, you gonna listen to this local talk?
Amy usually means exactly what she says.
Now, Sam, you've been over that country. You know it's crazy to think she could make it.
It was crazy to think I could drive my father's covered wagon over the Oregon Trail from Fort Dodge. But I did it. Winter, mountains, Indians, desert.
Seems I heard somewhere a Texas Ranger could handle almost anything.
I think you're trying to run a Sandy on me, ma'am.
You trying to bluff a pat hand? Saddle up, son.
Just know I've forgotten something.
Yeah, it ain't possible.
I declare, Mr. Walden, traveling with a child is such a problem, you've no idea.
I'm beginning to get one. Now, if you'd only listen to me, man...
I have. I've heard every word you've said.
Yeah, but you don't pay me no mind. You know, winter sets in early in the
You
mountains.
think I ought to take more warm clothing for Sam Jr.?
Just Sam and me traveling live.
I'm taking a pack horse for Sam Jr.'s thing.
Oh, you're taking a pack horse?
Shouldn't take long, more than a night, to pack and unpack. Of course, that's no concern of yours.
Look, riding hard. 2 men might make it over the Cascade Range before the snow and freeze sets in. Then comes the hill country. Then backtracking Immigrant's Trail all the way back to Kansas. Then pushing on south. 6 months, ma'am. 6 months.
And 6 months back for Sam Jr. and I. Sure you don't mind holding the baby for me?
No, I don't mind, ma'am.
I'll have the pack horse rigged in no time at all.
I still think you're bluffing. I can't think no different.
And with your pat hand, you're going to call me?
I gotta call you.
I won't be more than a minute.
No. Your ma's making me out to be a jackass.
Well, I got everything at the other cabin taken care of. I'm ready if you are.
I've been ready. What kind of a man are you anyway? You can't control your own wife.
I don't a regular man that'd want a wife he could control too easy.
Where's your pa-in-law, the sheriff?
He's sitting on the boys. They're still mighty hot about things.
Yeah. Maybe you better wear your gun just in case. Hey, Sam. Do you think she's bluffing?
Well, I know she ain't.
I'm aiming to ride a piece with you. That is, if I ain't interfering with your duty.
Oh, you're right. Welcome, Sheriff. You all set, Sam?
Let's get going, get it over with.
Mrs. Gates?
We're both ready. I don't know how big your pat hand is, Mr. Walden, but I'm holding one, too.
How long you been out of Texas, Mr. Ranger?
I rode west into Arizona territory about the last of January.
Then you ain't taking Sam Gates nowhere.
Look, I thought we'd been through that.
You ain't taking him because your warrant ain't worth a hoot here in Oregon.
You're wrong, Leif. I seen that warrant myself.
Well, maybe so. But in February, long before Mr. Ranger ever got here, a whole raft of states pulled out of the Federal Union, including Texas. Army scout on his way to Portland just rode through with the official news. Here, I snatched this paper off of him.
Well, if Texas ain't a part of the Union no more.
Then there can't be no legal dealings between them and us.
Seems to me I'm a little outnumbered. Considering. Reckon a fella hardly knows what to do.
You can start riding back to Texas.
Yeah. I'd still like to shake the hand of a mighty lucky man.
You have to go, Clay.
I go where the trouble is, Sam. Sheriff, I said that your daughter was a credit to you, but since getting to know you better, I'd like to add that you're a credit to her.
Take care of yourself, Clay.
You gotta admit, ma'am, a hat hand and hearts is mighty hard to beat. No hard feelings, gents.
No hard feelings.
Well, I reckon that's the way it should be. And so Clay Walden took the long trail back to Texas, and for the first time in his career without bringing back his man. But I don't think he felt too badly about it, do you? I do hope you'll be watching the Playhouse next week, same time, same station. This is Anthony Quinn saying goodbye and thank you from the Playhouse.